Okay, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of WrestleSlam, the podcast brought to you by Manscaped.com and the Macau Casino, Cork City, proud sponsors of the WrestleSlam podcast. We are fresh just after an incredible night last night at the Kino Cork. RCW, RC Dub, RC
Oh,
Dub,
see, dub. Oh,
RC
see, dub.
Dub.
My
This
voice is
is
gone, Jerry.
awesome. This is
This
awesome.
is awesome.
This
See,
is awesome.
this is what a fan sounds like when he's just fresh off an amazing show. So, whatever you the most unamused. This is awesome chant ever.
And Matt Murphy, show us your new purchase via the merchandise stand, Rebel County Wrestling.
Do you have to do a model face
Yeah,
yeah.
Ooh
Looking
yeah,
everywhere except for the camera. Nice one.
ooh yeah,
Yeah, I don't know why, but this has
ooh
been my goal to
yeah.
get an RCW shirt. Finally got one, and it looks fucking unreal, lads.
It's
Jesus Christ.
beautiful. We'd like to congratulate obviously Billy Bedlam, you know what I mean, Dino, all the crew, all the crew. You know what I mean, Mr. Michael May, even Michael May, working the ring and making sure the ring's all in good nick and everything's running smoothly. The wrestlers, the fans. RCW last night at the King of Cork was incredible. Yet again, so many incredible matches, Matt Murphy. But every match was 5-star. For you, what kind of matches stood out?
Yeah, I think there's so many matches. When Renzo Rose called out Dino's challenge, that was actually I did not expect that. Big fan of him. Had a great interview with him. As you know, the last No Limits Wrestling show. Raven Creed versus LJ Cleary. Just because as soon as we saw that card, we were like, oh, we're going to be in for one unreal match. And of course, the final main event has to go with the Fatal Four with Cesc Martina, man who just Longford, Mr. Longford himself, and Martin Steers. That card alone was just we were in the airport actually in Denmark, and we actually saw that pop up, and me, you, and Phil just said, "Oh, this is going to be the match. This is going to be the match," and it didn't disappoint.
And look, man like Derice, first of all, he's got some presence about him, doesn't he? His entrance it's iconic. I think anyone that even goes to a wrestling show for the first time and sees someone in that stature like him is blown away.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not just like his wrestling presence, but it's just his entrance as well. It's the main event, so maybe everyone was just getting a bit tired. He knows how to wake up the crowd.
Yeah.
It's his presence, and I'm sorry, but the outfits he wears is just phenomenal as well. So that whenever I'm gonna hear his theme song come out, I was like, oh, what's he wearing? What's he wearing? Oh, he's wearing anime related, or he's wearing DJ related, unreal. So I mean, he's on a tour right now. He's on tour, so he's gonna keep on going. He's gonna keep on going. So big
Yeah.
fan of him. We're all a big fan of him at WrestleSlam. Because
Yeah.
what can we say? Whenever we say oh 01, you say what? Oh 01.
What? And Cesc Martina put on an absolute masterclass. CBL up Longford. He's on the rise. CBL. He's a fan favorite. You know what I mean? Country road, take me home. Up Longford. It's
You need to be careful. That'll be copyright if we're gonna sing
yes.
Country Road. Unfortunately.
He's a fan. He's a fan of the WrestleSlam podcast. Obviously, Martin Sayers as well. Incredible fatal four way. Obviously, man like Derice coming away with the victory. LJ Clary beating Raven Creed in a fucking epic match. That was fairly
Yeah.
epic. Raven Creed's got it. She really does. And LJ Clary, regarded by many, including us, as one of the best in Europe right now. He had his hands full with Raven Creed.
He did, lad. He did. I know that Ryan O'Connor was actually on ringside, and
Yeah.
he caused one or two distractions. Dino was actually right next to me, and he was later focused on the match. So that's gonna build up into something. We're gonna keep an eye out with Ryan O'Connor versus Raven Creed.
Well,
But besides that,
Raven actually has a victory over Reardon, as you remember. They fought, didn't they? Fight at one of the first shows.
they did, yeah. I think I remember that. So they
Yeah,
got unfinished business. But look, the match itself was just unreal. I feel like Raven and LJ knows each other so fucking well at this point. So when you get good chemistry, you know you're gonna go in for a good match. So the delighted for LJ to pick up the win, but like, sure, Raven, she's always going to go in with 100%, like, no matter what, like, so unreal match, lads.
Yeah, and like there was many great games. The Saviors actually losing was a bit of a shock. They haven't lost in Cork in a long time. Katie Harvey, Justy, Phil Boyd, victorious over the Saviors, Anita, Owen, and Andy, which was a bit of a shock.
Like, look, I mean, we are gutted. We are gutted here at WrestleSlam, right? No, nothing else, nothing else. But no, it was unreal seeing Justy, Philboy, and KB Harvey like in the middle of the same ring. It was unreal. So they just had like good like tag matches. It was good comedy spots. What can I say? I love my comedy spots, especially at these independent shows. We were putting for the saviors, as you do, but I actually was happy to see like the end result anyway. So building up to something further, and also Anita Vaughn costing Shusha says Martina the match at the Fatal 4-Way. That's going to build up. So remember that.
Yeah, that's something that we need to talk about. Look, are we on the brink of seeing perhaps an RCW Women's Championship being announced?
We were just talking about this during the show. We don't,
Mm.
we love to see an RCW Women's Championship. We love to see an RCW Tag Champion. We love to see an RCW World Championship. If Billy, if you're watching this, we're putting so much work on you, so no rush at all. But it'd be unreal if we see like title picture and hand that way. So I hope that builds up to something unreal. Like,
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. And overall, look, the audience, Matt, like anyone that was in attendance for that sold out show, they were blown away. You know what I mean? It's a great venue.
yeah.
The Kino is very intimate. It's electric, isn't it?
Oh, fucking unreal. It's the Kino's always a place. Like every time when I talk to a wrestling fan and they like we talk about AEW, we talk about WWE, and they never were pushed to go to independent show or local show. I'm like, no. You're gonna have to go to a local show. It's actually great crack, especially if you're in a tight capacity with very few people. Like, so that's really my advice to everyone. Like, so being at the keynote was just unreal. That's always gonna be a home for RCW. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Like, it's hooked on feeling. It was like, of course, I feel like every show we go to RCW kind of keeps on blowing out the way. So, and the fact that they're in our backyard is nothing more than just unreal. Like,
It's beautiful, and as you say, we're very lucky in a sense when it is in Cork because we're so used to being up the country in Dublin or Belfast, and it's great when it's on your doorstep. You know what I mean? I went into Brewdog before the actual show. There was a couple of wrestling fans in there and stuff. So yeah, Cork it's shining when it comes to RC Dub, and we're looking forward to the next show. Now they have announced the next date. It's going to be May, so we'll have all details incoming. And look, we will be back on the road, and we'll have a couple of interviews leading up to RCW's return in May 2023.
yeah, when you said like we got RCWJ and we're gonna be on the road going to go to interviews, I'm like, Jay, what are you on about? They're just in town.
Yeah, I'll have to take the Jeep out of the driveway and drive down the hill. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just gonna be one second drive. Like, let's go, lads. We arrived. It's like a work journey.
I love it. We have to mention Knocks Undisputed Sunday, April 16th. It returns Dolan's Warehouse, Limerick, Cork City. The doors open at 5 p.m. The bell is 5:30. Tickets on sale soon. And of course, it was announced the MVP of Irish Wrestling, LJ Clary, will have his work cut out at Undisputed when he runs a golden match against the ticket holders Anita Vaughn, Scotty Davis, and the wildcard entry of Boots Murphy. So look, yet again, for all you fans around Europe, Hard Knocks Undisputed returns a Golden Gullet elimination match, and that will be back at Dolan's Warehouse, Limerick. So make sure to get your tickets ASAP for that as well. Hard Knocks incredible, and they're doing Munster proud, and no doubt there's going to be some incredible more matches to be announced in due course. Now, Matt, we have to go straight to WWE. There's talks. Vince McMahon is back. He's obviously back in a creative role, which is not good. I suppose a lot of fans are kind of boycotting in a sense because things were on the up. Shane McMahon obviously injured. Triple H came out on SmackDown last night and he said there's going to be a draft, which is interesting. So, like for this draft, what can you see happening?
Jerry, lad, I'm not gonna lie, but the anxiety and the fucking worry I got when I found out that Triple H is gonna make an announcement, I was like, oh God, is he actually gonna be gone? Is he actually gonna be giving up with WWE? But the fact that he just like turns around and was like, no, it's a draft. I was like, oh, right, that's not as bad. But what you expect from the draft is like, to be honest, I forgot there was a draft going on. I mean, we've been seeing so many superstars jumping over SmackDown Raw recently. I'm like thinking, it was like, do we really need one? But if when they're gonna go ahead with it, because I always enjoyed the draft. Besides what I just said about like I don't know about having a draft, I can see that they might need to make one or two changes. Like Roman Reigns, I would like to see if they can actually take one title off him and give him onto one roster. I've always seen Roman Reigns as a SmackDown fella. Same with the women's title as well. Like so, I kind of like to see like them going back to the old times when it was like watching two different wrestling shows. If you remember with Raw and SmackDown, different wrestlers, and they would jump over like breaking the forbidden door before the forbidden door came a thing. I like to
Yeah.
see that more, just like dying down on like the constant jumping over and just like stick with like treat it like a different wrestling shows. Just happen to have WWE in the logo, like.
They might do that though. I reckon that's what's going to happen, man. I reckon they're going to obviously not strip him, but they'll do a certain thing where look, there's going to be two brands, Raw, SmackDown. We're going to have to take one championship off. Like I'm kind of confused right now because obviously Brock attacked Cody, and to me that's taking Cody away from Roman. So
Mm.
do they have the fact that like does Roman go to Raw? Does he stay at SmackDown? And do they give the other belt then? And there's like you know Brock versus Cody on Raw or something. Do you know what I mean? We just don't know what's going to happen. But um, can you see the bloodline split up, or do you reckon the bloodline will be kept on the same card?
I can see the bloodline going on, continuing all through Roman Reigns' title reign. To be honest, I know that they keep on hinting that Solo is going to be leaving the bloodline, same with Jimmy and Jey Uso. I feel like they're going to keep on teasing that, and they're going to continue that for another few months. And then when they break up, it's going to be even more shocking. It's going to be even more like dramatic. That's kind of what it is. I don't want them to like break up straight away,
Hmm.
because without the bloodline, Roman's going to look more weaker if he just doesn't have like a group backing him up. Like so if it happens, it happens. But I wouldn't see the bloodline breaking up anytime soon. Like.
I love it. That's a Matt Murphy special right there. He's giving his prediction.
Perfect.
Anyone looking for Phil Colley, by the way? Phil's actually on set for a big movie. Um, so he's on set for a big movie as we speak. So that's why Phil is not here today. But the
Yeah.
movie,
Jerry still got the makeup on, as you can clearly see. He has a role in it.
I got a little role in that film. So it'll be screening at some stage before the end of the year. But look, Phil Connolly is on set right now for a film. And Matt's normally on set for films, but today he's off. So look, we're lucky to have him here.
I
Right.
mean, I
So
mean, I'm sure if this, I'm in production mode. So technically, I'm on a set still, like so.
yeah, you're always on the set, man. You're always in the spotlight. A few matches I want to quickly go through. LWO. So it seems to be a thing, Phil. When Phil was on about it the
Well,
other day, Phil was actually saying he reckons the LWO mat will be around. So like it looks like LWO are here to stay in WWE, Matt.
yeah, no, because I know that there's a lot of young fellas who doesn't know who LWO is. So this is going to be a good kind of like showcase for them to show the history of them. So I would like to see them sticking around. And if Rey Mysterio is going to be planning on like retiring in another 2 years or so, it'd be class if he actually would have these like younger crowd with him and actually kind of like mentoring them, helping them, and this would be a good way to actually bring back something original, like so because
Yeah.
was it Eddie Guerrero who founded the group of
I think it was it
El
was Eddie originally, yeah.
Eddie? Yeah, so I actually want to see them going around for another while. I mean, there's hints that the group is going to betray Ray and
Yeah.
like give him over to Dominic. But personally, I was like, I don't want that. It's unreal seeing this like old group coming together. So yeah, I can see them going along for a long time. Like so, I can even see them obviously up against the Bloodline against Jimmy and Jey Uso, and it'll be interesting seeing them facing off against Sammy and Kevin. So yeah, I've already been predicting like good tag matches and groups for them facing off. Like
No, I love it, and I like the way they wear the shirts and stuff. So LWO will be cool. But Jey Uso defeated Sami Zayn. Obviously, there was a few segments as always on SmackDown. Obviously, the Judgment Day defeated LWO. The Judgment Day celebrated Rhea Ripley's WrestleMania win. Triple H revealed the return of WWE Draft. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeated Natalia and Shotzi. Ricochet defeated Ivor. And
Edit that.
the Brawling Brutes defeated obviously the Imperium. So that was interesting. That was pretty much SmackDown. Obviously, Riddle saved Sami Zayn from the Bloodline beatdown at the end as well. So yeah, that was pretty much it. And other news, I suppose, in Impact. Obviously, Matt, as you know, Josh Alexander had to give up his belt because he's injured. So that's not good.
I'm just sorry, but when you said Josh Alexander, the image of his child is running over, getting the title, giving it back to his mom. I was like, oh, I don't want to cry. Don't cry. But I just felt that. So yeah, Josh Alexander.
It's tough, It's tough because he's on such a high at the moment. Other news: Matt Murphy. There's talks Drew McIntyre is due to depart in the coming weeks. He's not happy with his creative role and the money. So is Drew on the way out?
Lad, when we found out that Vince is back in control, there was so many talks. It's like hard to keep up what's going on. But is Drew going to be out? I can't see him leaving. I don't know what exactly they're going to have from him at the moment. Like, I mean, he had an unreal run with the WWE title, even through like the difficult time during the pandemic. Like, so he showed that he can carry the company. Like, but if he's actually leaving, I can see him going probably to ICW in Europe at least. But if I don't think I'm personally ready to see Drew go, especially if he's having a good run with Sheamus at the moment. So, but I know that if Drew's not happy, it's going to be up in the air with him. Like so.
Yeah, he's such a big stock. I think they've booked him all right, to be fair, over the last couple of years. Obviously, a Royal Rumble winner. He's a WWE champion. Obviously, he had, big moments. Obviously, there was a pandemic. It kind of, I suppose, he didn't get exactly what he deserved, but that was no one's fault, bar pandemic. I'd be surprised to see him go. I don't want to see him in All Elite Wrestling, to be honest. I don't want to see him in Impact. I'd much rather he take a little break and go back to WWE, do a European tour maybe or something,
Yeah, and in style,
Yeah, like I think he just needs to take a break. I think he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to go anywhere else. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion, but you know what I mean. Everyone's entitled to opinions, but I think for me, that's what I think. You know what I mean? So Ty will tell. Ty will absolutely tell for sure. So yeah, is Drew going to be there in a couple of weeks or not? We don't know. More details on Vince McMahon's lack of influence. So there's talks McMahon's back. He's doing his thing. He's causing problems. What's your thoughts on that?
I kind of just want to see what the backstage vibe is like, to be honest. Because I did hear when Triple H was in control, it was all kind of like more laid back. It was kind of more like, everything was up. I wouldn't say the fans got what they wanted, but Triple H got what he wanted in actually using these proper wrestlers back. I think as soon as Vince came in, I think there'd be like different tension in the back, like, because I think you've already heard that Seth Rollins' segment got cut back. What was it? Bailey was meant to have a segment that got cut out. Last minute changes. I feel like that's gonna be what's gonna come up with Vince McMahon. Like so, I think what Vince, not saying like Vince should fuck off and blah. It's just Vince needs to look back on the creative control and how well that they had WWE fans coming back, even for a little stoop that wasn't going well. Vince should just look at that and be like, yeah, I should rely on my son-in-law Triple H. He knows what he's doing. I'm gonna be happy I'll just live in retirement, especially with a certain law over my head. So I just think that's not a way of saying fuck off Vince. It's just Vince needs to look at that moment. Like no one's gonna be watching his project now.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're spot on. Yeah, like time will tell. It's hard to know what's going to happen, but look, it seems like a lot of people are unsettled. I think even from the NXT perspective, NXT's kind of on the up again. It'll never be where it was, but I think there's some really good wrestlers there at the moment. We think of the NXT of a couple of years ago to know it's definitely trying to rebuild that brand. So obviously there's a lot of stars from NXT went to the main roster. But yeah, time will tell. Time will tell what will happen. And as you say, look, it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks ahead to see what actually is happening and what we can expect. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening in the world of wrestling right now. But yet again, look, don't forget to check out. Yeah,
and
sorry.
We've got to mention the big news that happened. AEW is going to the Wembley Stadium. Do you know if we said that before?
It is. So it's a big announcement, isn't it? It's a big announcement.
Yeah.
A lot of people are surprised with the venue, but obviously it is announced Wembley Stadium, and it's just a matter of weeks, really, when you think about it. Sunday, August 27th.
We talked about this actually at the venue last night before RCW started. I said, oh yeah, AEW is going to go to London, and the first thing you said, Jerry, was, yeah, what do you think the card is going to be like? Because this is a big arena, like not just for like the UK, but also from America as well. What are they going to expect coming up, like? So it's the Wembley Stadium we're talking about. You don't have to be a soccer fan to know how big of a venue that is, like. So I think we're just going to wait and see, like. So
it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do. Now, I admire Tony Khan for doing this. Obviously, it's going to cost a lot to hire the stadium and stuff, but yeah, look, they're going to put on a super show. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening. I can only imagine. Probably going to be an all-day thing, I think, Matt. Probably start at 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and go all the way till 10 o'clock or something.
Oh yeah, it's going to be probably like for a solid 12 hours, I think, at least of a day of fans coming in, getting a bit of once they have AEW access, but they're going to have to really know, not just be treated by one show and one meet and greet. They're going to have to be treated with the whole shebang, like. So
yeah, they're going to
Tony, if you're a businessman, you need to know the fans.
It's going to be interesting, but look, I'm sure the WrestleSlam podcast will be there in attendance. And look, there's just like many events coming up. We're looking forward to all of them. So yet again, All Elite Wrestling comes to London, the Wembley Stadium, August 2023. You can register now for pre-sale tickets. You can register via May 5th. So it's going to be interesting, and it's the first professional wrestling event at Wembley Stadium in more than 30 years, which is fairly fucking iconic. So Tony Khan, take a bow, mate. Take a bow. So yeah, that's it, lads. That's the WrestleSlam show this week. There's bits and pieces to talk about. Look, we felt it was appropriate to start the show with RCW yet again. Congratulations to Billy Bedlam, to Dino Power, and all the crew for a great show in the King of Cork. It's back in a couple of weeks again. We'll have all the details announced, and we'll have Billy and the crew on the show for that. Yet again, Hard Knocks, April. So that'll be obviously, Hard Knocks is just around the corner, really, when you think about it, isn't it? It's literally around the corner. That'll be a great event. Don't forget, April 16th. So Sunday week, April 16th, Dolan's Warehouse, Limerick City. The doors open at 5 p.m. And that runs till 5:30. And many more OTT events incoming, guys. So just keep an eye on our Twitter page. We have over 2,000 followers now. So thank you to everyone that has followed us on the WrestleSlam Twitter page. And yet again, we're slowly getting subscribers and we're getting comments. We are getting comments, which is amazing.
Yeah. I was just going to say about Phil, who's not here. I know Phil's busy away with the film shoot, but I can imagine one of the cast actors saying, like, oh, you must be so busy. And he'll turn around and be saying, try being a wrestling podcaster. There's literally something going on every single day in the wrestling world. But comments, yes, fun again that.
Comment below. Make sure you comment. Say whatever you want to say. If you want to say that we are superheroes, if you want to say we're dickheads, if you want to say, what should we talk about in the next episode? Are we missing out anything? Is there any European independent scene that we should be talking about? Let us know. From myself, Jerry Collin, from Matt Murphy, we'll catch you soon, guys. Thank you for coming our way for WrestleSlam, the podcast, and we'll catch you soon. Adios, amigos. Arriva la lasta.
Done, guys.